All right, here's a story which is sort of relevant to this week's Torah portion. Interestingly enough, this week's Torah portion deals with monetary laws, mostly monetary laws, damages, and things like that. And even more interestingly, in the book The Zohar, which was written by Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, like about 1,800 some years ago, which is a commentary on the Torah. It's a midrash, it's a commentary, but it's a lot of it is very mystical. And the whole secret of reincarnation, Judaism believes in reincarnation. It's called Gilgulei Neshamos, because according to Judaism, the soul doesn't die. According to Judaism, the soul, life is not, life in one particular body is very short, but life itself is very long. And the soul goes into different bodies. And this goes according to its service. A Jew has to do certain service, has a certain responsibility. If you don't fill your responsibility, then you go into these different bodies, and there's what's called Gilgulei Neshamos. Anyway, that whole story of reincarnations and who gets reincarnated and when they get reincarnated, that's the commentary of the Zohar on this week's Torah portion, on Mishpatim. Okay, so here's an interesting story about that. Once a person came to see the Baal Shem Tov, and he was a businessman, rich businessman, and the Baal Shem Tov said, yes, can I help you? He said, well, I'm just here because I heard that you're a very great person, a very, very spiritual person. You have special powers and this. And no, say something wise, say something spiritual. I'm interested in hearing. So the Baal Shem Tov said, I can tell you a story. He said, I don't want any story. I got a story. What do you think? I'm a baby in the kindergarten. I need stories. I want something wise from the Torah. I want you to give me a wise Torah idea that I've never heard before, something really mystical, something that's really, really spiritual. Make me feel spiritual. So the Baal Shem Tov said, listen, all I can do is tell you a story. That's all I got is a story. I mean, you came here, where do you come from? He said, from such and such a place. He came from France or something like that. He says, well, you came all this way. At least I'll tell you a story. I said, what, I came all this way for a story? Okay. So the Baal Shem Tov said, once there were two friends, really good friends, and they were bosom friends, and they went into business together, and they were tremendously successful. And they've opened up a business, whatever, in Warsaw, and it's millions and millions of dollars. And so they decided that they're going to branch out. And they decided that one of them was going to go to Paris, and he'll open up a factory over there, and this one will be in Warsaw. And they work together. Okay, I have to go to this bridge. Okay, so one went to France and one went to this. And the one in France, first of all, they worked together. They opened up the one in France. Anyway, they both succeeded. Well, it happened that the one in France lost all of his money. So he came to his friend in Warsaw and he said, can you loan me money? He said, what do you mean loan you money? I'll give you money. So he gave him $1 million. The one in France went back, was very happy. And the one in Warsaw, all of a sudden, he lost all of his money. It took a few years. And he went to the one in France, but the one in France didn't want to give him a loan. He had all of his money tied up in some big business deal. So he told the servants to tell this one from Warsaw that he wasn't home. They were already older people. They were all the older. And the one in Warsaw was very depressed because he had lost all of his money. And he thought he would give him money anyway. So he curled up on the gate of this rich man in France. And the night was cold. And when they came in the morning, checked, the man was dead. Is dead. So the one from Warsaw who died, he went up to heaven, and they said, you're going to go to heaven, but your friend in France is going to burn in hell. So he said, I don't want to do that. I don't want him to burn in hell. What is there some way I can do it? So they decided in heaven, what you can do is you can come back to this world, and you'll be poor, and you'll go to your friend in France, and you'll ask him for loans. And he'll also become, your friend in France will also become reincarnated, and he'll be a rich man, you'll be poor, and you'll collect money from him every day. And so so that's what he did. They were reincarnated, and the rich one became very rich, and the poor one, he came back very poor, and he came to him every day. They didn't know what their past. And one day the rich man got aggravated with the poor man. He came knock at his door every morning, and he was in a bad mood, and he had a cane, and he hit him on the head, and he killed him. So it ended up that the rich man killed the poor one twice. He killed him, first of all, when he didn't want to give him money. And then the reincarnation, no, he killed him again. So he messed up his whole the possibility of getting fixed up. And he didn't want anybody to know. So he buried him in his front yard so that nobody would know. And the Baal Shem Tov said, and that's the end of the story. So the person was just sitting there and he was shaking. So that's the end of the story. You can go now. He said, are you feeling okay? And the man said, that was me. He said, a few days ago, there came someone to me, used to drive me crazy. He wanted loans all the time. He wanted the charity all the time. And a few days ago, I hit him on the head and I killed him. It ends up that this man that I killed is the same man as a reincarnation of my good friend that I killed in the previous incarnation. And the Baal Shem Tov said, that's right. 100%. That's why you came here to me, that I would tell you how to fix yourself up. Now what you have to do is give all of your money to charity, and you have to wander around like a poor man, and maybe God will forgive you. A poor person is considered to be like that. Moral of the story, we don't know who we are. Do good deeds for the sake of doing good deeds. Have a good day with Mashiach now, and I'll give the rest of the classes, God willing, later.